Hello, and welcome to Business English for Success. Today, we are doing something different. Instead of looking at a list of words, we are going to follow two colleagues through a full workday.
That's right. From the first discussion in the morning to the final tasks in the afternoon, we want to show you how English is actually used in a professional setting.
You will hear how to plan the day, share ideas in a meeting, and catch up with your team. We're focusing on the small details that make communication smooth and effective.
Our goal is to help you feel more comfortable in your daily office interactions. We focus on clear and polite English that you can use right away in your daily work.
The day begins at 9 a.m. Let's see how to start the morning with a clear plan.
We are now at the office to begin our day. Let's listen to our first conversation about setting priorities.
Okay, we're starting our morning at the desk. Liam and I need to figure out what to do first.
Pay attention to how we discuss which task is the most urgent.
It's 9 a.m. Liam, before we dive into the details, I think it's crucial that we establish a clear order for today's tasks. If we don't handle the most time-sensitive items now, we might find ourselves rushing at the end of the day.
I'm on the same page, Sophia. I've been looking at the list, and what concerns me most is the quarterly report. Given that the data hasn't been fully verified, how do you suggest we proceed?
That's a valid concern. It's for this reason that I'd like us to focus exclusively on data verification for the next 2 hours. Once that's settled, everything else should fall into place much more easily.
That sounds like a solid plan. I was going to look at the client proposal, but it's probably better to put that on hold until we're certain about the report numbers. Does that work for you?
Absolutely. By shifting our focus this way, we're actually saving time in the long run. I'll take the lead on the financial figures, and perhaps you could double-check the regional sales data?
Understood. I'll get started on that immediately. If I finish earlier than expected, I'll give you a heads up so we can move to the next stage.
Now, let's look at why that conversation was effective. Notice how I started with a conditional sentence. If we don't handle the most time-sensitive items now, we might find ourselves rushing.
This is a useful skill. Instead of just saying, "we are busy," Sophia used a first conditional to explain the risk. It shows foresight and professional logic.
Also, look at the phrase, "what concerns me most" This is a cleft sentence. We use this structure to highlight the most important point. It's much more professional than saying, "I am worried about the report."
And when I asked for advice, I used, "how do you suggest we proceed?" This is a polite way to invite collaboration. It shows respect for your colleague's opinion.
Finally, we use the phrase, "fall into place." This is a natural, professional idiom. It describes a situation where things start to happen correctly after a focused start.
Now, let's practice these structures. Focus on the rhythm and the stress in each sentence. Please repeat after us. If we don't prioritize this now, we might face delays later. What concerns me most is the accuracy of the final data. How do you suggest we proceed with the current workload? Once the main task is done, everything else should fall into place.
Great practice. Now that we have our plan for the morning, let's move forward. Setting priorities is just the first step.
But what happens when you're in a meeting and you strongly disagree with a colleague's idea? In the next part, we'll show you how to disagree politely and keep the atmosphere positive. Let's move to the meeting room.
We are now in the meeting room. Let's listen to how I share a concern about our project timeline with Liam.
Thanks for meeting me, Liam. I've been reviewing the new plan. While the current timing is ambitious, I'm concerned that we might be overlooking the final quality control phase.
I appreciate your thoroughness, Sophia. Everything looks quite solid on paper, but you seem to have a specific adjustment in mind. What exactly are you suggesting?
Well, it's not so much about changing the plan as it is about refining it. I was thinking we could add a 2-day buffer. Although this might push back the finishing date slightly, it significantly reduces the risk of making minor errors.
That's a valid point. If I understand you correctly, you're saying that a small delay now is preferable to a major revision later.
That's right. It's a matter of ensuring the work is top-notch before it reaches the client. This approach allows the team to stay focused on quality rather than just rushing to meet a deadline.
I see the logic in that. It's much more efficient to get it right the first time. I'm happy to go along with that adjustment.
Now, let's analyze why this discussion was so professional. We used a structure called contrastive linkers.
Exactly. Sophia used, while the timing is ambitious, I'm concerned. This acknowledges the team's effort before introducing a concern. It keeps the atmosphere positive.
I also used a very effective phrase. It's not so much about changing the plan as it is about refining it. This is a clear way to reframe an idea. I'm not changing the plan, I am refining it. This subtle shift makes the suggestion much easier to accept.
Another key technique is using preferable. Instead of saying better, saying one thing is preferable to another shows you have weighed the options carefully. This is a very professional structure.
When you use words like ambitious to describe a schedule or thoroughness to praise work, you build strong rapport with your colleagues.
Now, let's practice these professional structures together. Please repeat each sentence after us. While the plan is solid, I have a few concerns regarding the timeline. It's not so much about the delay as it is about the quality. A small investment in time now is preferable to a mistake later. I'm happy to go along with this adjustment to ensure excellence.
Great work in the practice session. Being able to share your ideas clearly in a meeting really helps build your professional reputation.
But what about those informal moments that happen outside the conference room? Networking doesn't only happen at big events.
Some of the most important conversations happen over a simple lunch. Let's move to the next part, where we'll show you how to talk about your future goals during a casual break. Liam and I are now having lunch together. This is a great time to catch up on our career goals in a more relaxed setting. Let's listen.
It's nice to finally step away from the screen for a bit, isn't it? By the way, Liam, I've been meaning to catch up. Now that you've been in this role for a few months, how is the experience measuring up to your expectations?
To be honest, it's been quite a learning curve, but in a good way. I feel I found my footing in the technical aspects. That said, I'm starting to think about how I might expand my role, particularly regarding the creative direction of our upcoming projects.
That's an interesting direction. Expanding your expertise in that area could certainly bring a fresh perspective to the team. Are there any particular projects you'd like to be considered for?
I'm keeping a close eye on the branding refresh. While I don't want to overstretch myself right now, I'd certainly appreciate the chance to contribute to those discussions once my current workload stabilizes. What's the focus for you at the moment, Sophia?
I'm focusing on improving the way I lead the team. Since we're getting bigger, it's more and more important that we all stay aligned. It's a tough job, but worth it in the end.
I've definitely noticed that. Your ability to keep the team on track has been a huge asset to us lately. It's great to see that you're so intentional about your growth.
Now, let's look at why that casual lunch conversation was so professional. Notice the opening question. I didn't just ask, "How is your job?" I asked, "How is the experience measuring up to your expectations?"
This is an effective way to invite a balanced response. It allows the other person to talk about both challenges and successes.
Liam used a very professional idiom, "found my footing." This means to become comfortable and confident in a new situation. It's much more natural than saying, "I'm used to it."
I also mentioned expand my role. In a career context, this means taking on more varied responsibilities. It shows your goals without sounding demanding.
And did you notice the word intentional? When Liam said I was intentional about my growth, he was giving me a professional compliment. It means doing something with a clear purpose. This is how you build a strong rapport. Now, let's practice these professional phrases together. Please repeat after us. How is the new role measuring up to your expectations?
I finally found my footing within the team.
I'm looking for opportunities to expand my role.
It's important to be intentional about your career path.
Excellent work. Building relationships over lunch is a great way to grow in your career. But now our break is over, and it's time to head back to the desk.
That's right. And when you're back, the focus shifts to progress updates. How do you report your work without sounding like you're bragging?
We'll show you the perfect balance in the next section. Let's listen to how we handle a professional check-in. We are now back at our desks after lunch. It's time to share updates on our work. Let's listen to how we check in with each other.
Liam, do you have a quick moment? I'd like to give you a brief heads up on how the report is coming along. I've just wrapped up the data analysis, and I'm about to start on the final summary.
Thanks for the update, Sophia. It sounds like you're making great progress. I actually had a chance to look over your initial draft, and if you're open to it, I have a small suggestion that might add more weight to the conclusion.
I definitely value your input. What did you have in mind?
Would it be possible to include a bit more detail in the first section regarding the market trends? I feel it would provide a much stronger foundation for the points you're making later on.
That's a fair point. Adding those extra details now will certainly make the final version more compelling. I'll make those adjustments right away to ensure we're delivering the best possible quality.
That sounds perfect. Thanks for keeping me in the loop, Sophia. It's much easier to stay aligned when we share feedback early like this.
Let's look at the phrasing here. I said I wrapped up the data. This is a very common way in the office to say you have finished a specific part of a project.
And notice how I introduced my feedback. I said, if you're open to it, I have a suggestion. This is a very polite way to offer an opinion. It keeps the conversation positive and collaborative.
Liam also used the word foundation. By saying the details provide a stronger foundation, he is explaining the benefit of his suggestion.
Sophia's response was also very professional. She said the changes would make the report more compelling. This means convincing. It shows we understand the high standard we are aiming for.
Finally, pay attention to stay aligned. In a modern office, being aligned means everyone has the same understanding. It's a key word for effective teamwork.
Now, let's practice. Focus on the flow and the professional tone. Please repeat after us. I'd like to give you a brief heads up on how things are coming along.
If you're open to it, I have a suggestion to make this even stronger.
I'll make those changes to ensure the report is compelling.
It's much easier to stay aligned when we share feedback early.
Transitioning. Sharing progress is what keeps a team moving, but even a productive day has to end.
How you leave the office is just as important as how you arrive. You want to leave a professional impression every single day.
In our final section, we'll show you how to wrap up your day so that tomorrow morning is even easier. Let's see how to finish work professionally. The day is drawing to a close. It is 5:30 p.m. Before leaving, it is essential to organize your remaining tasks and touch base with your team one last time.
Sophia, I think I've reached a good stopping point for today. The core sections of the report are finalized, so we're in a good position for tomorrow.
That's excellent, Liam. I'm just wrapping up my last few emails myself. Are there any pending items that might need immediate attention in the morning?
Just one minor thing. I'm still waiting for a response from the design team. If their feedback arrives late this evening, I'll pick it up first thing tomorrow morning, so we don't lose any momentum.
Sounds like a plan. It's been a very productive session today, and I'm glad we managed to stay so well aligned.
I agree. Well, I'm going to head out now. Have a great evening, Sophia.
You too, Liam. See you tomorrow.
Now, let's examine the language used to wrap up the day professionally. Notice how Liam used the phrase stopping point.
This is a professional way to say you are finished for now. It shows you are in control of your workload and you know exactly where you will start again tomorrow.
We also use the phrase pending items. In a professional setting, pending refers to tasks that are waiting for a decision. It's much more precise than saying unfinished work.
And did you notice the expression pick it up? I said I would pick it up first thing in the morning. This is a very common, natural way to say you will take responsibility for a task as soon as you arrive.
Ending your day by confirming you are aligned with your team leaves a lasting impression of reliability.
Let's practice our final set of phrases together. Please repeat after us. I've reached a good stopping point for today.
Are there any pending items that need attention?
I will pick this up first thing tomorrow morning.
It's been a productive session. Have a great evening.
Our workday has come to an end. Before we finish, let's review the key professional phrases we've used today to help you stay productive and clear in your communication. In the morning, we focused on establishing a clear order for our tasks. During our meeting, we used professional linkers like, "While the plan is solid," to give feedback politely.
Over lunch, we talked about broadening our scope and being intentional about growth. In our updates, we practiced giving a brief heads up to keep the team informed. And finally, we ended the day at a good stopping point.
These practical phrases will help you communicate with clarity and build professional relationships based on mutual respect by mutual respect.
Thank you for spending your day with us. We value your input. Which part of the workday do you find the most challenging to handle in English? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments.
Keep practicing every day, and we'll see you in our next session of Business English for Success. Goodbye for now.